right, next up, this is more gossip and thing, but I do want us to talk about it. And it is the Oathbound Book 3 release and just everything around the latest book in the series. Now, on book threads, I did some screen grabs from some folks online. One person in particular said Barnes & Noble in Deptford, New Jersey has no table dedicated to the New York Times bestselling series Oathbound, but they have insane displays for Onyx Storm. Are you kidding me? Then we had another person saying, at my Barnes & Noble, Onyx Storm signs are still up. Not just signs, but a window and an end cap, but no kind of fanfare for Oathbound, and it was already on sale. This is so annoying. I also want to say there were other people saying they show up to the bookstores and no one knows. Oathbound, what are you talking about? Yeah. Then there are books in boxes in corners somewhere. You know, it didn't get a front table prominent display for a big book coming out. You know how they do for the big books. So people were very, very upset that Oathbound did not receive the fanfare. Again, it's comparing it to Onyx Storm, which has been out for a hot minute. So, Francesca, I know you have some thoughts on this happening, but I think the big thing, and I know you're really going to get into it, is the fact that, hey, YA books don't get the same treatment as adult fiction, contemporary fiction, and those big titles. I'm sorry, YA is still the redheaded stepchild. I'm guessing you agree.
Yeah, I completely agree. And I think that also comes with the stigma because, yes, it is technically by the name, it is intended for a young adult audience. But let's be real, it's going to be adult, especially adult women, buying a lot of those books. So that is the market. Yes, there's also the young adults, but a lot of those people buying the books and making young adult, especially young adult fantasy, big. Now, and that also doesn't get the recognition in the stores and whatever. That's been like that forever. Now, another thing is they keep comparing this to Onyx Storm. And I don't want to say that I don't think it deserved more exposure because it totally did. But this is something that they do all the time. So I think that they probably could have done better. However, I don't see them from a business mentality, capitalist system. They're not going to put away their Onyx Storm, because I don't know what the numbers are because I don't look at that stuff. But as you can put the most popular release that is not like a Sarah J. Maas, which I guess people don't consider her anymore. But that aside, you cannot put the biggest YA title next to how much Onyx Storm or Fourth Wing is selling. There is just no, even any other adult fantasy, nothing is going to compare to that. So they're not going to take away their nice display for the cash cow that is that series right now. That series is keeping the doors open for a lot of these businesses. They're going to display it. Now, I think that they should have had better organization, especially when there is like one big release that is a well-known series. So yes, probably that should have been something that Barnes & Noble did better. But historically, Barnes & Noble is not good at any of these things. So I am not surprised. But yeah, I think in general, I would not be surprised because why it's just never their focus, you know? It just is. It's never been.
No, it's not. Now, for my point, I'm also going to go back to, again, the original argument, because the thing is, and I hate to break it, if you're watching this and, you're just an avid reader, but you want to stay in the know, so you tune in to us to kind of hear what's going on. Let me tell you, the business of book is messy. It is not what you think it is, right? It's kind of like, I remember being, what I say, bright-eyed and bushy-tailed and just very optimistic and feeling like, all books get treated the same.
No.
Wrong. All books get the same marketing budget. No. Wrong. All books within the same category, everyone has their moment to shine in the sun. No. There are so many books that come out each week. I know we're excited for our favorites, and I love that for us, okay? Because that's part of books and reading. We want it to be fun. We want to have things to look forward to. But the reality is things aren't treated the same. YA isn't treated the same as adult. Nonfiction isn't treated the same as fiction. Cookbooks get a whole separate thing. Deciding who has events and everything is just very different. Am I sad about it? Yeah, I'm sad because it was a big title. It was a big release and you want it to have that fanfare. You want it to have its moment in the sun. But that is coming from a fan perspective, not a business perspective. And the truth is they can't keep Onyx Storm on shelves and tables. They are flying off. Yeah. And as a person who grew up in a family of business owners, who also had my own business at one time, you also know that there's certain products that keep your lights on, that pay your rent. And I'm telling you right now, Onyx Storm is paying a
It's
whole bunch
paying
of
rent.
people's rent.
Yes.
So I am sad that, yes, Oathbound did not get its moment in the sun. But guess what? We have some good news, people. It is #1 on the New York Times best-selling list, okay?
Yes.
It beat out Mockingjay. Yes, the Wild Robot, people are still talking about it. It beat that. It beat the Wimpy Kid Diary series thing. It beat Harry Potter. All right. And yes, Harry Potter's still there. Don't at me. Don't talk. Yes, it's still there. Talk to the people who are still buying the books. You see what I'm talking about? Talk to the people who are still buying the books. Even though they want us to believe JK is cancelled. I mean, no.
Yeah.
Still buying the books, still buying the books. But the good news is Earthbound did get #1 on the New York Times bestseller list. And to consider the fact that it was just treated as a redheaded stepchild, look, I love it for it.
Yeah.
I love it for it. So yeah, it's just the sad reality of books and book selling and publishing. The business of it is very different and separate from us readers and just how excited we are for it. We hope they'll learn from this though. And
Historically, no. But
let me be hopeful.
I
know
am the
my husband's watching
pessimist
right now. He's
here
like,
because I have seen it too many times. Like,
I
we have screwed up so many times that you're like, this is the time. This is the time that next time they'll think of it. No.
I'm trying to be optimistic for the people. I'm trying to be optimistic. I'm trying to be optimistic. But yeah, but anyways, let us know your thoughts in the comments on just the release and the whole rollout for Oathbound. We'd love to hear your thoughts. If you're watching live, let us know as well, because yes, I think it should have received a better rollout. But guess what? It's #1. So at the end of the day, that's what matters.